Ramit Sethi posted about his new show. And this show is really, caught on Netflix. It's about finances and looking at finances from a totally different lens. And the thing is, what was interesting to me is it's kind of like when people first watched the Harry Potter movies and everyone's like, wow, this is such a cool concept. Wizards live amongst us and it would be so cool to go to that sort of school. And if you were one of the kids that happened to have read Harry Potter, you're like, yeah, I know that story already. Like, yeah, or you get really interested that people that didn't know about it now can have that
Yeah.
conversation with you. I had other friends who I talked to about it briefly. They might mention, hey, I invested in Ethereum or whatever crypto bro stock was there. But,
Bro, stop.
but beyond that, it was hard to have those engaging conversations around why you're investing, or
Yeah.
the idea is that there's emotion behind money and there's emotion behind any financial decision. Even the way that you decide to spend your money or not spend your money is driven by a core emotion that you probably picked up somewhere.
Conversations about money weren't always done in the most exciting of lights. The only time we spoke about money was when there was a scarcity of it.
Yes.
But if those are what your conversations are, you start thinking. And for me, that was that. And it's like, oh shit, I need to do this. I need to think about that. I need to start thinking about my future. There are pros and cons to it. On one hand, it was like I was carefree and life was good and I didn't give a shit. And now all of a sudden, all of these thoughts are going through my head. And there's this anxiety that, fuck, I'm not doing enough. And that's where the productivity part came in. It's like, okay, how do I optimize my time? How do I make the most of it? How can I make my finances better than ever? And what does a secure retirement look like?
Yeah, it's like if you've never played a sport before, if you've never played a specific sport and you see someone who's really good at it, but they got really good at it because they've been, maybe they were in a school that promoted playing that sport or had a good team. They had the best coaches. And today when you just see it, you're like, that looks like a cool sport. I'd like to try it out.
Yeah.
And you decide to go play with them, which is not that they're asking you to be as good as them, but it becomes really apparent that you're not as good as them right now. And it can be demotivating.
Yeah.
And I think that's for me where it first started was with Tim Ferriss. 4-Hour Workweek really changed the way I started viewing money even. The idea that, okay, you might I had classmates who graduated out of grad school and they were making 6 figures straight out. They were computer science majors. Yeah. And there's no way I was going to get paid that much for what I do, at least not right off the bat. But to view it as, hey, those guys, yeah, they might make crazy bank, but do you know why you want that? Why do you want $100,000 straight out? Do you want the 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week that they're going to work as well? Yeah. If you do, that's awesome. Like, sign up for it and go get it. But the way Ferriss talked about time and the idea of retiring, and if that's your eventual goal is to retire and sip Mai Tais on a beach, when you're 65, are you going to make it to 65? Do you know? What if you hate drinking Mai Tais on a beach?
I think that is the overarching theme today. Through influencers like Matt Davella or, Mark Manson or other people that we read and watch every day. But productivity, I feel like productivity should be about improving your life. But more or less, it all comes down to finances, which shouldn't be the case.
It's counterintuitive. I'm trying not to think too much about what the next step should be, which is what productivity is.
You and I surround ourselves with YouTubers like Ali Abdaal and Matt Davella, who every day they're on Twitter or on our Instagram Reels or on YouTube telling us, 25 ways to optimize your time. Oh, I read 100 books this year. What did you do? I made $8 million. What did you do? I am 10 years younger than you. What the fuck have you been doing?
Yeah, it's funny. How I landed on this topic was I was watching Matt Davilla's video on. I read 100 self-help books, and I'm like, I haven't read that many recently.